Hello, everybody. I'll start with a few words about myself. By profession, I was specialist in data processing and management, organizing and building companies' information systems, and since retirement, I spend a lot of time organizing and managing different associations, including Pickleball for the last 6 years. I discovered a sport with some friends in Canada and decided to import the game to France, starting with the south of France where I live, near Cannes. The first message I have to you is to start right away with a vision for the future, especially if pickleball is still unknown in your country, and set the base for nationwide development. We created the first Pickleball Association in 2015. By 2018, there were three, and we decided to create a federation, a legal structure distinguishing it from associations by the fact that they are linked together through a formal affiliation to the association federating them. This doesn't mean that we are recognized by the state and even entitled to a delegation of rights. This will only be possible when we reach a minimum size and terms of licenses and, amongst others, geographical distribution. Build a website. Well, if what we did can be considered an example, this was already done with the creation of the first association. The site was designed as a potential host for several associations. The site allowing each of them to have, from the day of affiliation, a space to present their location and activities, register their members, and collect their membership fees on their own PayPal account. This policy brings several advantages, the most important of them being that associations don't need to worry about designing and implementing such a complex tool, offering the major functions they need to manage their activity. At the federation level, we dedicate pages to present the sport, our structure, and rules of management, invite interested people to join as ambassadors, announce and open registrations to our events, tournaments, clinics, and others. And of course, communicate on major national and international news and events. Create awareness. You have to introduce the sport not only to the future members, but you need to have an infrastructure allowing local, regional, or national authorities to understand what the sport is, its values, and particularities. The website is a platform for the media and helps you to be recognized by sponsors or donators as a worthwhile organization. You may want also to make this a potential source of recruitment of members of fellow associations, and most importantly, for future ambassadors, people who have heard of the sport and wish they could play it where they live. In short, this is both a platform for creating your image and a precious contact source for future development. Use of social media. The association's federation website copes with medium to long-term news. Social media like Facebook are ideal to communicate up to a daily base with interested people. Make sure you keep your page active and publish regularly in order to keep your audience. Be reactive and work on your image of competence and attractivity. If our website enjoys an average of 500 visits per month, with Facebook and soon about 1,000 followers, we get a worldwide worldwide audience, mostly players and their families and friends who might soon be players as well, and in some cases, newcomers to the sport. Our last video presenting the sport placed on our Facebook page reached our best score so far with 11,500 people reached and 90 shares. Communicating with members. Emails are indispensable to support your administration and communications needs. Considering our wish to help newborn associations, we looked for a tool allowing multi-level distribution. Each association manages its own email address list for its members. At the top, we have regrouped these lists in a unique licensee's address list, allowing us a direct but locally maintained communication link to all licensees of the Federation. This tool is part of our G Suite for non-profit account. The most important communication tool helps to help members of each association to inform regularly their members about where and when to play. We have chosen Sign Up Genius. It allows players to tell if they'll be present at a particular session, if they come with some friends, and if they'll host it. Sessions can be limited in number of participants, and last but not least, last minute information like session cancelled because of lack of participants or because of rain. Other internet tools will help you to easily communicate via the web and smartphones, organize and hold meetings, be it for your administration needs or project discussions. Most of you have already heard or are experiencing WhatsApp, Zoom, and the like. Now, a word about ambassadors. They are the ones who will help you to grow. They've heard about pickleball, have discovered it during a trip, and often want to play and even do something in order to be able to play. They're your most important and precious source. Have a contact form on your website and help them make themselves known by filling a form with some data and, most important, their motivation. Once they're registered, make them known through your website to all visitors, offering a chance for people in their vicinity to join forces. And, of course, help them, inform them of projects they may be ready to help with, meetings they could join in. In short, keep them motivated. About suggested tools. Most of the tools you need may be free, but probably not your website and its management functions. Check the list on this slide and what they can do. For the website, our solution is local, even if it's based on open source solutions. We have a contract for a bit less than 40 euros per month for the usage of the system and its operation on a secured server. We don't have to write a line of code. General knowledge of word processing tools is sufficient with limited effort to acquire. For our next generation, if we look for a more sophisticated solution, keeping the acquired capacity of dealing with a multi-layered structure, associations being part of a larger group like a federation, we'll have to know tools available on the market, the French market in particular, which include accounting functions like ASSO Connect. I guess similar products should also be available in most countries. G Suite, Google Suite, for non-profit is then our second most important management tool. Its security and user identification processes, as well as the extensive number of applications available, are really ideal for our needs. Each association is independent in its usage and data access, each folder of its drive being only accessible to the owner of the folder and subfolders and the people identified as having access. Among the tools we use most is Gmail, the users and group multi-level management system, Google Doc, Google Sheets, Google Slides. It is the same version as the one used by profit companies, and it is free for non-profit associations like ours. So keep that in mind and contact Google if you want to know more. Well, that's it. That closes my presentation, which I wanted to make as short as possible. Thank you very much. If you have any questions, you can address those to me using the address contact@pickleballfrance.org. Thank you very much again, and maybe see you one day. Goodbye.